Hello everyone, now we will be doing the chapter The Last Leaf. This was written by O. Henry, and O. Henry is a master of twisted climaxes. Sometimes all you have is a little ray of light to hold on. We've all heard that old Akbar and Birbal story wherein Birbal stands in a pond, a frozen pond, and sees light far away. And he stands there seeing that light, and in the morning when he comes out of it, he says that the warmth from that lamp, it kept me in the lake. It was just a little ray of light that kept him inside the lake. And such a ray of hope is shown in this chapter, The Last Leaf. Let us first quickly go through some words that have been mentioned in the chapter. Bay of Naples. It's a picturesque sea coast over the Italian city of Naples in the Tyrrhenian Sea. Juniper berries are fragrant berry-like fruit used to flavor gin. Pharmacopoeia, a manual of medicinal drugs and their uses. Chivalric, this comes from chivalry, a code of honor led by knights in medieval times which promoted bravery, courtesy and devotion to the weak. Table d'hôte, a communal table for all guests at the hotel or restaurant, offering a limited number of choices at a fixed price. Now let us have a quick look at the summary of the chapter. Johnsy and Sue are artists who move into Greenwich Village in the New York City. As winter approaches and the weather gets colder, Johnsy becomes ill with pneumonia. She gets so sick that she believes that when the last leaf falls from the vine outside her window, she will die. So what happens, Johnsy and Sue, they're both artists, okay, and they come to the city and they want to do something and make as an artist, accomplish something. But what happens rather, Johnsy falls ill with pneumonia and she is so hopeless. She does not think that she will recover because she has already seen many cases of pneumonia where people have died. So she thinks that she will die as well. There is this old maple tree outside where she sees that there are only a number of leaves hanging. And by the hour, they're decreasing. She's counting them down. She comes down to 4. And then Sue sees her. She sees that, oh, she's just completely losing hope. And it's devastating for Sue because Sue is a very good friend of hers. What happens then? She goes down to Behram and she talks about it. Let's further read the summary. An old artist named Behram, who lives in the same building as the girls, braves the storm one night to paint a leaf on the wall, a leaf that will never fall. Cold and wet from painting in the icy rain, he catches pneumonia and dies. This gives Johnsy the hope to survive her illness, and it also creates the masterpiece Behram had always dreamed of painting. Now, let us first understand a few things about the story. Johnsy had always dreamt of painting the Bay of Naples, and she was thinking like she would never be able to do that. Even the doctor had told Sue that she has no hope left and 50% of her chances of surviving are reduced thereby. Behram, who was another artist who was still trying to make it in the artist world, was living close to their house, right below their apartment. And what he did was, he had a conversation with Sue and he completely thought that she was mad and all of the things that were happening. She was asking him to pose for a picture and all of the things that were happening. He thought that she was just having a spat with him. When she told him about Johnsy, at first he just let her go. But later we realized that what he actually does is, he climbs up the ladder in the middle of the wintry night full of storm and he paints a little leaf on that window so that Johnsy has a hope to survive. And Johnsy every day looks at the leaf and finally she thinks that, okay, if in such winter, in such storm, in such winds, if that little leaf can survive, then I should not wish to die, I should survive as well. And this gives Johnsy the hope to survive and recover from her illness. So this was about the story. Moving on to symbolism. The falling leaves are symbolized as despair. As they fall, they amount the despair in Johnsy's life. Next, the last leaf that provides hope to Johnsy to recover. Mr. Behram is a true friend or family. sometimes our family don't show how much they care on our faces, but somewhere deep down they really do. And this is what Behram did. Then next we have Bay of Naples, which represents dreams. Jhansi always wanted to dream Bay of Naples. And when in the story she talks that someday I'll make Bay of Naples after she has fallen ill, we understand that she is still dreaming, and dreams are very necessary to live. Next we have figures of speech for the chapter. First is personification. Here we see in the two sentences, "But the wine is killing her," said Sue. See, the wine in itself is just an object and it cannot kill anybody. A human can kill. So wine has been personified here by using the verb kill. Next, the streets run crazy and broken themselves into small strips called places. Again, streets is an object and they cannot run crazy. That is something that humans do. So streets have been personified here using the verb run. Next we have simile. Jhansi was lying white and still as a fallen statue. So whenever you find as or like, there we have in simile. Here, Jhansi's condition of laying completely white and pale was being considered like a fallen statue. So a comparison is being made using a simile. Next we have imagery. His shoes and clothes were wet through an ice cold. And the next line is, "I have something to tell you, white mouse." In both these sentences, when you read the sentence, suppose in the first sentence, when you read it, you picture and imagine somebody with very ice cold and very wet boots, coming into the picture. So an image is created in your mind. Such is the power of imagery. Next we have comparison. Comparison is nothing but it is similar to simile and metaphors. Just in this case, a direct comparison is being made and we are not using any catchphrases such as or like. Young artists must pave their way to art by drawing pictures from magazine stories that young authors write to pave their way to literature. So here, comparison is being made such that artists pave their way by drawing pictures. That is, artists are being compared to young authors and pictures are being compared to literature. Now let us discuss the themes of the story. So one of the themes is friendship, the friendship between Jhansi and Sue, even in such a condition when both of them had moved to New York City and they both wanted to make as artists. Sue might have had left Jhansi and pursued her dreams, but she stayed put, she stayed with Jhansi and made sure that her friend was fine. This was the theme of friendship. Next we have sacrifice. Mr. Behram, he, like a true friend, he helped them without even letting them know. He just went up there and painted a little leaf. He sacrificed his own life for them, because he thought that Jhansi's life, her dreams and what she could achieve was much more important than his. Next we have hope. Hope, like the little last leaf that was left on the maple tree, which was drawn by the man we have just discussed. So that hope or to live that Jhansi had, that is another theme of the story. And last but not the least, we have passion, the passion to create something. Mr. Behram always wanted to create a masterpiece, and the last leaf turned out to be his masterpiece. Even the passion that we see in Jhansi and Sue to pursue art. We see Jhansi, even in the illness, wants to paint the Bay of Naples. Such is her passion for art. And these are the themes that consist in the story, The Last Leaf.